What's up, everyone? Welcome to Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and Sheeps Brewery. We just found out who the day one matches are going to be. Here with my man Drew Stoltz from Golf Subpar and world-renowned golf instructor Claude Harmon. Guys, how we doing? How we feeling about these day one matchups?
I'm feeling better now. It's finally, I feel like we've been speculating, anticipating who's going to be paired with who, what are we going to do, all this stuff. Finally, we can stop talking about it and get some guys out on the golf course, play some golf. And I guess we should just go through each match, 1 through 4. We'll kind of break them down, give our thoughts, which I'm sure is exactly how it will play out tomorrow, as it always is. But match 1, this is, big dog against big dog, Claude. We got JT, Justin Thomas, and Jordan Spieth. We knew they were going to go out together. Going up against Team Spain, Jon Rahm and Sergio Garcia. I think this match, if we were pairing it like it is at the President's Cup, where you get to pick who goes out and then they counter, I think this might be the only match we got in day one that would mimic the exact same way.
Well, I think the big thing is we send 2 of the Americans out who have winning records in the Ryder Cup. So I think that's a big deal. I think they're friends. I think they're comfortable together. They've won before. And I don't think it's a surprise that you're going to send the number 1 player in the world, Jon Rahm, who's the number 1 player in the world by huge margins, with Sergio Garcia, who's won more points total than the entire U.S. team.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if we were going to bet who was going to go out first for the Americans, in my opinion, I wanted Bryson DeChambeau, but I knew it was going to be Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. These guys were 3-1 in Paris. They meshed very, very well together. They played together every single practice round. They're going to go out first and set the tone. And then in match number 2, we got your man, Dustin Johnson, teaming up with Collin Morikawa, playing against Viktor Hovland and Paul Casey. My God, does anyone miss the center of the club face in this group?
Not many.
This is the flusher foursome right here. If there's not crazy wind tomorrow, there won't be a lot of chipping going on in this group.
No, there will not be. And you work with Dustin Johnson.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit. How's he looking heading into the week?
I think he's looking good. I think they looked at all of the stats and the analytics people and talking to Strick and Davis and the team. They looked at him. Collin Morikawa is the best iron player in the game. He is one of the best iron player I think I've seen since Tiger Woods. And so if DJ drives the golf ball with his length on this golf course, with the way the course is set up, the way that you would think DJ would drive it, I think that's going to be a really, really, really tough pairing. I think, though, Viktor Hovland is going to be one of the stars of this Ryder Cup.
I agree with you.
I agree on that.
I really do.
So I know you're his coach, but I want you to rank, because, these guys are just flushers, as we said. Rank 1 to 4 best ball strikers in this 4-ball.
Iron-wise, you've got to think that Morikawa is at the top of that list. But, don't sleep on Viktor Hovland. He's a sneaky. He's a strike show. And then DJ, former world number 1. And so, it's hard to think of a group that is going to hit it better than that group.
It's 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. That's how you rank.
If you look at the golf that Paul Casey is playing at this stage of his career, you just don't see guys still be relevant, still have chances. He had chances to win major championships, and I think he's just one of those guys that he's been good as long as, he's been good his entire professional career. Yeah,
Let me ask you this, Claude, since you know DJ better than anyone. Did this grouping with Morikawa get put together based on analytics? Hey, based on all that, these guys will pair together? Or was this a DJ Morikawa type deal? Hey, we mesh well together. Let's maybe this
I think it's a combo, Drew, of both. I think they spend a lot of time together. They both play TaylorMade. They spend a lot of time together in these TaylorMade shoots. I'm sure they get paired together a lot. And then when you look at kind of strengths of what the players bring, especially to this golf course, you're going to look at, can you get a lot of greens in regulation? Because in the past, guys, it's a putting contest. The Ryder Cup has come down to a putting contest. The Euros have putted the U.S. team off the golf course for going on 25 years. So it's paramount that you have opportunities to have putts to make a difference. And I think in looking at the setup, you've got, Daniel Berger, Justin Thomas, Collin Morikawa, they are some of the best iron players on the PGA Tour. So that is a huge advantage if you can give them irons in their hands and they can take advantage.
Let me ask you one last question about Dustin Johnson, because as we know, he just seems unflappable out there. Is he any different the week of a Ryder Cup compared to a major championship or another PGA Tour event?
DJ, believe it or not, gets nervous. You wouldn't know it if you're not around him a lot. But, there's always some things that AJ and I, his brother, his caddy, will say, you can tell when he's a little bit nervous. Listen, he's a veteran. He's expected to do well. And I think he is somebody that if we can get points as an American side, if we can get points from Dustin Johnson, I think it's the U.S. stars, we need to get points from them. We've got 8 guys inside the top 10 in the world. We've got some of the best players on the planet on our team. We need to get points. We need to get points from a guy like Dustin Johnson, who's a major champion. We need to get points from Colin Morikawa. So, and that's where I think the Euros have always done a better job. Their superstars have gotten a lot of points.
Trust me, I've seen DJ be nervous. He hit his tee shot at the opening tee shot at the walk-up before they finished announcing his name. So one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
He's a human being as much as he doesn't look like it at times.
All right, let's go to match number 3. We got the Florida State Seminoles teaming up. Brooks Koepka and Daniel Berger against, this is a little surprising to me, Matt Fitzpatrick and Lee Westwood. Thoughts, please.
I wanted to see Koepka and Berger paired together. I think just from a personality, outside looking in, it's rip your face off. I want you to, like, I go back to Daniel Berger's comments when he played the President's Cup at Liberty National, where Team USA was rolling. And there was a chance there for a while where it could have been over mathematically before the singles matches took place. And most guys in that scenario, if they're asked about it by the media, which they are going to be, he'd be like, you know what, there's a lot of golf left to be played. We're going up against some great players. You know, this thing could still shake out. We're not done yet. And Daniel Berger just said, like, no, I want to beat their ass. I want this thing to be over before even the singles start. And I love that about him because that's honest.
I was working for Sky that week, and I interviewed him right after he won his match. And I said, was the goal to try and finish this thing on Saturday night? He said, yeah, our goal was to try and finish on Saturday night. But the goal today at the President's Cup was to get up early and just turn the knife in. And he got roasted by all the Euros and the Brits. But you like that mentality, and you like a player to be in that mindset. I think Victor Hovland will be a star for the Euros this week. I think Daniel Berger is going to be a star for the US.
Completely aligned with you on both of those guys.
Yeah,
and then Fitz and Westwood, Colt.
He's built for this. There's no doubt about it. I can tell you this thing's not going to be over Saturday night.
No.
We're going to have a lot of golf left to be played, but a little surprised by this. Obviously, Lee Westwood, the veteran, teaming up with Matt Fitzpatrick, who, to be honest, got kind of ran over at Hazeltine several years ago. But, you know, he's a fantastic player, teaming up with the veteran. In my opinion, I feel like Team USA should be a big favorite in this match.
You would think so, but they're both, you know, Matt and Leo, they're both from the same part of the UK, so they're kind of from that kind of middle part of the country. You know, they're not, they don't do anything fancy, but they will make a lot of pars. They will get their chances at birdie. And I think to defeat those two, to defeat Westy and Matt Fitzpatrick, you know, as a team, as the American team, you're going to have to keep the ball in play because they're not going to make a ton of mistakes because they're just not super wild. They don't hit the golf ball a tremendous distance. So they're going to hit a lot of fairways, and I think they're going to hit a lot of greens. And I actually, from the European standpoint, I think it's a good pairing. I like it.
And Fitz with that short game, like you never count him out. And a great match play record, US Amateur.
Yeah, true. Good point. You got to be a really good player to win those, Sleaze.
They are not handing those out, although one year there was a little slip up in that deal.
It happens.
All right, well, let's get to that last and final match. Match number 4, no surprise. Patrick Cantlay, Xander Schauffele. These guys spend every minute of every day together, it seems like, going up against Rory McIlroy and the USA Slayer, Ian Poulter. I mean, this might be the most exciting match on paper right now.
I think it's a great match. I like the team of Xander and Cantlay. They've been in the kind of the same pod as DJ this week. Yeah, you've got Xander, who's just won a gold medal, and you've got Patrick Cantlay, who just won the FedEx Cup. They were playing today. They went out and they played alternate shot, and Cantlay had like a 35-footer for birdie. And I said to DJ, I said, he can't start putting bad now because he's made every putt he's looked at for the last month and a half, so he better keep it going. And he buried it right in the heart. So you can see Patrick right now has this kind of quiet confidence. I mean, he was a little bit of kind of trash talking out there, which you normally don't see from him. But if you look at the way he's played and you look at kind of his ball striking is unbelievable as well.
He does everything well.
He's just unflappable. I think he's playing the second best golf in the world right now behind Rom.
Also, making $15 million a week will also make you have a little confidence.
He's not stressed. He's not stressed. But
this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, this is, in my opinion, the highlight of these 4 matches is match number 4. Just because you got Rory, who we've seen him act very un-Rory-like during these Ryder Cups. He's going crazy, yelling at the crowd and all this. And it's going to be a very USA biased crowd out there. I can't wait for this one. You know, I'm going to be roaming around out there, and this might be the one I end up with.
They're all good matches. I think it's bookend with the two best matches. The first match going out with JT and Spieth, Rahm and Sergio. That's an incredible. That's Goliath going up. And then you got Xander and Cantlay, Rory and Poulter. They're going to close it out. Obviously, both teams want to win that first point, put it up on the board, and then they want to close out the matches strong. So you're seeing the two behemoths go in the front and the back.
And one of the things, guys, I don't think that's happened in quite a while is Jon Rahm's the #1 ranked player in the world. Rory McIlroy is one of the best players in the world. In the past, Tiger, Phil, some of the big stars in the U.S., they've been the ones with the targets on their back. And I think now, if you're not on the U.S. side and you don't want a piece of Jon Rahm, if you don't want an opportunity to beat the #1 player in the world, a guy that won the U.S. Open, if you don't want an opportunity to try and beat Rory McIlroy, there's something wrong with you. So I think the American side will look at the superstars on the European team and say, listen, I want to be a part of the team that beats that team. And I think that's one of the things that the European side has done for years. They got all of these big scouts. They were able to say, listen, I'm not necessarily ranked the highest, but we just beat Tiger Woods. We just beat Phil Mickelson. So I think if a team, anybody can take down a team that Rory or Jon Rahm is on, I think it's a huge, huge momentum builder for the U.S.
All right, let me ask you this one. Whoa, do you want to make predictions?
Yes, I do.
Let's go through this thing right now.
We're going to
make predictions. All right, let's go through and make predictions right now. We got match number 1, JT and Spieth, Rahm and Sergio. What's the outcome?
That one's going to be close. I think that goes all the way to the end. I don't look at any of these matches and think any of them are going to be a blowout. I really don't.
All right, I'm going.
So you going half? Are you going a half point? You want to lean?
I tell you what, if the U.S., a half, I think that'd be good.
I think JT and Spieth team up so well.
I love
together.
that.
They went 3-1 in Paris. They were one of the very few bright spots for America over in Paris. I'm going to go with them to win in a very tight one.
I am too, just because I was going to pick that team against anyone that they put out there. And Spieth, dude, just with his ability to just somehow hold to the U.S. here, I'm going to JT and Spieth go out and put that first point on the board.
Obviously, I'm going for DJ in the next match.
Yeah.
That's
who do you like in match
That's a
two?
shocker.
Since you're here, I'm going to say it's going to be a half.
I'm going to go with
a tight one.
I'll go with half in that one as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I like both. All right. That's a toss-up.
I think if there's a chance to be a blowout, it's the third match.
See, I
know you disagree.
Totally disagree with that one.
I just think Brooks and Berger, they've got this swag. I'm going to go for a big win for them. After 3 matches, I'm going to say it's 2.5 to a half.
I hate agreeing with you. I think the exact same thing. If there were one where I was going to bet on a side and feel pretty confident, like, yeah, that's the right play, I think it would be Koepka and Berger in this matchup. I'm going to go with them there, getting a full point.
Man, it's a huge call. I'm going to go with Cantlay and Xander because I think they're the hotter team right now, and that's where I'm going for that.
I think they're both playing great. I'm actually going with the veterans, Rory and Poulter. So at the end of day 1, I got it 2.5, 1.5 in favor of USA.
I'm going halvesies on the last. I think Poulter could be the spark plug for Rory that he's needed. Like, we've been waiting, like, why aren't you winning majors? Why aren't you doing this? Sometimes he seems, even though it might not be the case, disinterested out there. If Poulter gets going the way we've seen him in the past, that could be the little electric charge that Rory needs. I'm going to go half on that one as well. So I picked no losses for the U.S. I'm a huge homer. I don't give a care. I don't care. That's the way I am, and that's the way I'm picking it.
I got it 2.5, 1.5.
I got 2 wins and 2 halves.
I've been going to the Ryder Cup since 1993, and I have no clue what's going to happen tomorrow.
No one does.
Nobody does, and we'll look back tomorrow and say we're all idiots. That's the way it works out.
Guys, I can't wait for the 43rd Ryder Cup to get started. Special thanks to 3 Sheeps Brewing Company for letting us come out, make it our home this week here in Sheboygan. If you ever get across these parts, definitely come to 3 Sheeps. The place is incredible, fantastic beer. Everybody enjoy the 43rd Ryder Cup.
Surf capital of the Midwest, Sheboygan.
There you go. Claude's just full of little facts, dude.
All right, we'll see you out at Whistling Straits.